Happy New Year. Best wishes and hopes for 2016. So this is Randy, and I've been looking at the results of the poll that I took regarding older narcissists, those that you meet after age 45 or 50, trying to get an understanding of the patterns of the decompensation, any kind of things that look kind of familiar or similar from case to case. I didn't get a whole lot of responses, but the responses that I did get were very rich with information, because once you are with a narcissist that's about 50 years old, they will tell you some things from their history. It seems to be kind of like differ from one to another how much information they will tell you. And of course, we don't know if any of it's true, but some will actually tell you their whole entire history. Of course, it's from their perspective, which is distorted. So you cannot definitely believe it, but parts of it may be true in terms of just the length of the relationship, perhaps, and the numbers of the relationships. They probably leave some out. So when you meet them later in life, beyond 45 or 50, chances are that you'll have a shorter relationship with them versus a lengthy one. This is just my hypothesis. Of course, it's not going to go across the board. There's always going to be differences here. But what it seems like is that for whatever reason, it may be because the target is smarter, or it may be because the narcissist is less willing to hold the mask on, and probably a little bit of both. But so we can kind of like be maybe thankful for that if we're in the older, midlife area. If we meet a narcissist that's 45, 50 years old, we're probably not going to have a lengthy relationship with them, for the rest of our lives. And of course, we aren't going to know they're a narcissist. So the quicker we get out of it, and the shorter relationship we have with a narcissist, the better. So that's a good thing. It seems like their relationships kind of become shorter. There does seem to be at least a group of narcissistic men, and it may be also women, it probably is, that their whole entire life is filled with, quote, short-term relationships. So they may have, by the time they're 50, 12 or 14 short-term relationships. And a short-term relationship, I would say, is anywhere from like 9 months to maybe 3.5, 4 years. I'm calling that short-term because when you look over a lifetime, a long-term relationship would be something that's, there's that like 6 to 12 years, and then there's the, super long, like over 15-year type of relationship. So, but a short-term relationship, I would say, is like under 4 years or under, something like that. They have a string of them. Then there's kind of another group of narcissists that maybe they had shorter-term relationships when they were in their maybe 20s. And then they have a long-term relationship, a long-term relationship with one target that lasts between like 10 and 20 years, and it spans usually their 30s. And then that relationship ends, and then from there on out, it goes back to a string of short-term relationships. I haven't really seen or heard of any narcissists who had back-to-back long-term relationships, or, two super long-term relationships throughout their lifetime. It seems to be that the most they can manage is one long-term relationship in their lifetime. Their covert skills at this point seem to be mastered, so they are able to put on a very, very good mask, but they're not able to maintain it very long. So that's why you'll see the short-term relationships. That's perhaps why they tend to decide to want to get married and actually tie the knot, because when you get married, it's harder for that target to leave than if you're just living together. There's that one extra step that, of commitment when you sign the papers. So I think they do try to secure supply. They're mostly not worried about how many marriages they have. They're not afraid of marriage, like a lot of men seem to be reluctant or hesitant. They're not really too hesitant to marry, so this actually could be a red flag. So, like I said, some have these back-to-back short-term relationships throughout their whole entire life. Some have one long-term relationship and then a bunch of short-terms before and after, or after. Have not seen the back-to-back long-term relationships much at all. Did see one that, didn't actually have his first long-term relationship till he was 48, and then it went into his 60s. So that seemed like maybe it was a late blooming narcissist. Maybe he just got tired of the short terms and went for a long term, which would have had to put more drain on him to hold that mask up for that many years, for 12 years. So the secrets, there's a lot of secrets of a narcissist when they get to be that age, because they've lived longer, they've had more experiences, and they've delved into more things, they've taken more risks, they've done more things, so they have more secrets that they need to keep away from any kind of quality supply who just wouldn't accept it. Or who would think twice once they heard about some of these secrets. And their secrets are usually related to their drug use, their frequency, type, or amount, how much, how long they said they quit, and they, ago they said they quit and they really didn't quit. The extent of their use, that they keep secrets about that. They keep secrets about their relationships and what type of women they were with, what broke up the relationship. These are things you definitely cannot rely upon when they tell you why each one of their relationships broke up. Pretty much, narcissists, we know why the relationship would break up, but they have no insight, and even if they did, they wouldn't tell you. So that's another thing they keep secretive about. They learn that these are just things that will send someone running, so they're not going to be honest about it. They keep secrets about their criminal involvement. They keep secrets about what arrests they've had, when they've been in jail, what kinds of crimes they've committed that they have not gotten caught for. They're not going to reveal that to you. They are also secretive about their sexual orientation and sexual experimentation. So they may have some, gay desires. They may have some kinky fetishes, some desires, and they don't let you know what these are. But then they kind of seep out, and this might be something that actually ends your relationship. You find out they're actually, a cross-dresser. You find out that they're trolling for, same-sex partners on the side, and that will end your relationship. And then there seems to be, maybe there are women and men who are still with their narcissists and remain with them for an extremely long time, like possibly a lifetime. But we don't really see those people because they haven't figured out that they're with a narcissist yet. And if they have, they're just like, they've had way too much invested to leave, or they're unable to leave. So they maintain, they stay with the narcissist. They aren't able to figure out that their life would be better, if they could leave, or maybe they're afraid to leave after this much time. Just haven't figured out a way to manage to leave or get the narcissist to leave. So there are those people, but they're few and far between. I see that most of the people online have had like short-term but serious relationships with narcissists, and very devastating ones. And then there's those of us who have had the long-term as well, and those are also extremely devastating. So just wanted to summarize what I found. The consensus is that the narcissists do get worse as they get older. So what I would say worse means is that they get less, they're less in reality. They are less in touch with reality. They're less able to maintain a mask for anybody in the family or close to them, so that their behavior, can appear to be decent. They're less able to maintain that kind of decent behavior. They're less, so therefore they're less able to maintain the long-term relationships, and their judgment is poor in terms of what kind of supply they're able to find. Their judgment is poorer. Their needs do change for supply, and sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with looks. It has to do with like money or energy, or how much they can suck from that person, how vulnerable that new person is. And the vulnerable people are easy targets, but they're going to be disposed quicker than a higher quality supply, because that devaluation is going to come very fast, and the narcissist is not going to be able to maintain any kind of admiration or love bombing for these people that are low quality. They're just not going to be able to maintain it. So thank you for replying to the poll on the narcissists over 50. Just trying to do my little longitudinal study here, because these things, of course, are not done. No studies have been done by anybody. Of course, this is just informal, but we're the leaders here. We're the groundbreaking team here to figure out narcissists, since not too many other people have done it, and have done it successfully. And it's definitely not in the media, and it hasn't been brought down to the layperson kind of a level which it needs to be. So I thank you all for participating in this, and have a great day.